Welcome to the Dark Nook Monster Shop. So I picked up this silicone mold a while back. I think it's for making cocoa bombs or something out of chocolate, but I'm going to use it to make a zombie with foam clay. Now I added this in to show you how to push a thin layer of clay into this mold, but I didn't end up using this particular casting because the one I used, well, I forgot to record this step, so I redid it here just to show you. Now here's the one I actually did use. It was too thick in the mold, so the surface that was in contact with the mold didn't really dry and stayed pretty soft. So I figured, turn a mistake into an opportunity, so I sculpted a new mouth with some teeth into the soft clay. Someone recently told me that freezing the clay will harden it enough that you can demold it clean, but then it thaws a little bit and goes soft again and you can sculpt in it again. I'll have to give that a try. Since this mold is only the front half of the head, I have to build up a back of the head with layers of foam clay. I tried a few methods and you can see those sitting on the side, but this is the one I went with. I build up the back of the head and then set that aside to dry. And while it dries, I make the body. I just push some wire through a styrofoam ball and secure the wires with some hot glue. I use a pair of pliers to bend in some feet, then I hot glue some toothpick bits onto the feet wire to add a little more stability so he'll stand on his own. Now that the clay on the back of the head is dry, I add some more to finish out the back of the head. Oh, and by the way, while I was making this video, I had a whole mess of camera and lighting issues. So bear with me if the lighting and quality changes from scene to scene. I've got it mostly ironed out now, but there's a few shots throughout the video that may look a little off. I build up the rest of the back of the head and paint the whole thing with foam clay paste, which is a slurry of Mod Podge and foam clay, making sure to get a good coat over the whole thing. Next, I cut off some bits of the styrofoam ball to shape out the body, being careful to cut away from my hands and fingers. Then, I hit it with my little art grade heat gun. After that, I cover the body with foam clay. I use a texture stamp and a roller to shape it out, but most of this will be covered, so I really don't focus on much detail here, just overall shape. Now I make a hand. And while I do that, maybe hit that like button and subscribe. The Monster Shop has almost 11,000 subscribers now and we keep on growing. So keep on subscribing and I'll keep on making monsters. At this point I was thinking design-wise, sort of like a zombie Kewpie doll. Kinda like the zombies in Plants vs. Zombies. I paint a little water onto the hand just to slow down its drying a little bit because it's drying a little fast from all the handling and starting to crack. When it's all dry, I poke a hole in it and then I pontificate for a moment. Then I put some glue on the arm wire and attach the hand. Next, I make another hand, but this one's a fist, giving a thumbs up. Pay no attention to the molds in the background where I'm testing really cool stuff for future videos that totally worked, by the way. Check out how I shape out this awesome thumbs up. That's not at all any kind of subliminal message to you to make you want to hit that thumbs up like button. It's just a thumbs up, man, because the zombie is cool. I use a little foam clay paste to build up the back of the hand. I shape it out a bit and then I set it aside to dry. I make a bunch of eyes. I want to make real simple eyes that look good. I shape out the eyes, then I poke a dent in the eye. And while the eye is dry, I start building out the rest of the body. I add a neck and some arms and legs. Well, an arm and some legs. I'll make the other arm when that hand is dry. I glue on the fist and I set it there to dry. Now, once that's dry, I smush on some foam clay around the wire to make the other arm. I shape out the arm, but I don't really worry about detail because it's mostly going to be covered by shirt. Next, feet. I add some basic feet shape, which will be covered with shoes, so again, I just kind of half-ass it and let it dry. Then, I paint over the whole thing with foam clay paste. Once it's all dry, I start adding more clay to shape out the face and brow. Then, I blend it with a brush and water. Now I build up the back of the hand a bit. And after that dries, I test fit the eyes, then I paint some black into the inside of the dent that I had made in the eye to be the pupil. When that's all dry, I add a little bit of yellow. And after that dries, I put some orange on a flat sculpting tool and poke that into the eye to make little striations for the iris. Real simple, but it still looks pretty good. Now, it's time to make some shoes. I roll out 2 equal-sized balls of foam clay and shape each one around the foot, kind of like a sock. Then I just refine it. I add some details and shape out the top to make it look more like a shoe. I set that aside to dry, and then I do it again on the other foot. After both shoes have dried, I add a little tongue to the shoes, just to give it that little touch of detail. Now it's time for some pants. I flatten out bits of foam clay and stick them onto the legs. I blend those pieces together and add some wrinkles. Then I add some seams and pockets and some little rips and damage. I smooth it out a bit with a brush and water, and then I set it aside to dry. Once the pants are dry, I repeat the same process to make a shirt. I piece together a shirt and then blend the pieces together. I add some wrinkles and some seams, and then I add some damage to make the shirt look old and tattered. Now, you can see why I didn't really bother with too much detail on the pants. The ratty bits of the shirt are going to cover it anyway. I let that dry, and then I paint a layer of foam clay paste over the shirt. Next, I use some foam clay paste to glue the eyes on. Now I would normally cut the backs off the eyes to make them look more sunk into the skull, but I want this zombie to look all bug-eyed, so I'm just going to stick them on full round and dab a little bit of foam clay behind the eye so it dries in a bulgy bug-eyed look. And when that's all dry, I can start adding more foam clay around the eye to build up eyelids. Then, a brow and some of the rest of the face and lip. This is also when my first camera died, and I upgraded my potato. Then, 2 of my lights died, and I kinda fixed them for a minute, and then they died again. Then, when recording the beauty shots, my other camera stopped seeing its memory cards. So, it's been a fun 2 weeks of workarounds and unplanned upgrades for me. But I think it's mostly ironed out now. I make some ears and stick those on. I paint the rest of it with foam clay paste and set it aside to dry. The resolution and autofocus are a lot better on this new camera though. Look at that. I still need to fix the lights. I keep adding clay to the face and building up and refining detail in the eyes and mouth. Now I move on to painting the eyes. I start with some blotches of a thin red wash around the edges of the eyes, then a little bit thicker mix of the same red paint to paint some veins. Next, some UV resin over the whole eye. And when that's nice and cured with the UV light and nice and solid, I cover it with liquid latex. This will peel right off later, but for now, it protects the eye from me having to clean paint off of it. When the latex is dry, I base out the zombie in black. Next, I zenithal shade with white from the top down. It covers the highest point with white while leaving the shadows untouched. I paint over the highest points with yellow. Then some dark blue up from the bottom. Next, a little lighter blue brushed over the pants. It's not really a dry brush, but I'm also not hitting the lowest points. Then, the same basic process on the shirt. Hit the high points with a light shade. And once the highlight's on, I wet blend on a series of greens and browns mixed with that same off-white highlight color. After that, some brown on the shoes. Next, I dust on some flesh tone. After that, I paint a purple wash onto all the low points, starting with the eyes and mouth. Then, some dark red in the mouth and eyes, and other areas. and some bright green for the rotty edges. Next, a little light blue dry brushed over the pants. And then some more off-white dry brushed over the high points on the shirt. Now on to the teeth. Just some plain old white. And a little bit of white on the nails too. And then a brown wash over the teeth and the nails. Next, some bloody red in the mouth, nose, and eyes. Well, just spattered all over, really. Last, a dusting of a black wash, just to mute the colors a little bit and make it all look a little dirtier. Now I peel the latex off the eyes to reveal the unpaint-tainted eyes underneath. Then I add another drop of UV resin just to form a little dome over the iris. This will give it a corneal bulge look. I hit that with the UV light. And finally, a little black yarn just to make some hair. I use an awl to pluck out the yarn until it's broken down into smaller threads. Then I brush that out with a toothbrush. Next, I stick random patches of yarn hair onto the head with super glue. Like most of its hair has fallen out, but there's still some clumps that are just clinging on. When that's all attached, I paint over the hair with some dirty paintbrush water for a grungy stuck down with gunk look. And when that's dry, the Cocoa Bomb Zombie is all done. Thanks for checking out my video. Please hit like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more creepy creatures and crafty creations from the Dark Nook Monster Shop.